Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is a what if Naruto was part of the AKATSUKI part 1. We begin this with Naruto once again having siblings this time, and he would have two older sisters. Naruto is the youngest one. His older sister Naruko and Mito are born before him. Unfortunately for Minato and Kushina, Naruto is the one being kidnapped in this wave once again by Obito, who then threatens the fourth Hokage to let go or leave the side of Kushina or the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, otherwise the kid dies. Minato, being on high alert, would stand down as this guy killed Biwako, and we don't know much about Biwako, by the way. So I'm assuming she was a skilled kunoichi, being a medic as well, and killing her isn't that easy. I'm assuming she's like close to Tsunade's level, but remember Tsunade is a legendary Sannin, so just don't take my word for it. I have no idea, and I'm just assuming here, and I'm just going with headcanon in. Anyways, now obviously Minato would know that this guy is quite strong, especially after killing all the Anbu, because there were at least 20 to 30 Anbu placed outside to protect this place. If he was able to get through all of them, this guy must be on Kage level minimum, because these were some of the strongest Anbu in the village. Now Naruto is thrown up in the air. Minato does save him, and this time he would have Mito and Naruko in his arms as well. I can already tell I'm going to say Menma a lot of times. I don't know, it just came to my mind. But anyways, now Minato would leave Naruto and his two sisters and Naruko and Mito in the same place that the baby cradle that he left Naruto in the original, and then he would go and save Kushina. Kushina's Nine-Tails would still be ripped out of her, and here in this way she will not be dying. Now Uzumakis have a special trait. Full Uzumakis, by the way, no half Uzumaki won't have that. Full Uzumakis have a trait that they do not die after the extraction of the tail beast because of their strong life force. Similar to the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, they don't die, they're just incapacitated for a while, not being able to use chakra or like any ninjutsu, stuff like that. They're most likely going to be bedridden. But anyways, now bedridden I think. Yo. Minato would then fight Obito, defeating him with his flying Raijin. Once defeated, Obito would stand up and Minato would be far away from him. Minato now knows that, he's basically won this fight. It's pretty hard to get rid of that seal off of Obito's back. Obito will get rid of it later on. Well, you caught me off guard, Lord Fourth, but don't worry, I'll return for the Nine-Tails one day. For now, I'll let it ravage through the village and destroy this cursed place. Minato would then scoff, saying that he'll seal it away into his newborn daughter, or one of his newborns, as Obito would laugh. Ha! Go on, good luck. I'll return one day, don't worry. That Nine-Tails will be mine. And once I do return, this village, if not already destroyed, will be destroyed by my hands. As Obito would then use his Kamui ability to disappear and basically get the hell out of there, because Minato was about to kill him if he was to fight once more. Now Minato would then curse under his breath as he realized that he now has to deal with the Nine-Tails, and he's already low on chakra, as the fight against that masked man was not easy. Now I say low on chakra, he's still able to, flying Raijin a whole tail beast bomb away from the village and summon Gamabunta, and then teleport the whole Nine-Tails away, and then he still has enough chakra to perform the Reaper Death Seal. He has a lot of chakra left, that's all I'm going to say. Now we skip to the point when Minato is about to seal away the Nine-Tails inside of one of his newborns, And the third Hokage would step in here, saying, Minato, it's not your time to go yet. After all, you've just become Hokage a year ago. You have a long life ahead of you, and you have a whole family to take care of. Now, don't worry, I'll seal the Nantals away. You just keep it at bay while I do so. Also, I'm going to split it in half and seal in both Mito and Naruto, as they seem to have Kushina's Uzumaki traits. Well, I'm assuming that since they both have red hair. I'm not going to seal anything within Naruto. I'm not going to put a burden upon him as well. I'm sorry, Minato, but it's impossible to seal the whole Nantals inside one of them. It has to be split. I don't have enough chakra to split it in 3 ways, but I'll be able to split it twice, or split it in half. I'm sorry for this. As he goes on to do the Reaper Death Seal, and split the Nantals in half, as Minato tried to stop him, telling him that he's a better Hokage than him. Lord Third, you've always been Hokage since the day I was born. You've always looked after everyone. You're the better Hokage. You should remain here. You're the hope of this village. Then Hiruzen would shake his head, saying, I'm already past my age. I'm no longer that strong shinobi I was all those years ago. I want you to lead the village into a better future. I want you to lead the next generation and guide them towards the right path. Don't allow them to turn out like Madara. Please, Minato. That's all I ask of you. As then, the sealing would be complete. The Shinigami would take the third soul, as he would be sealed inside the Shinigami's belly. And then he would disappear, as the third's limp body would slump to the floor, as Minato had tears running down his face. Now, the two girls would be considered as the heroes alongside the third of the Leaf Village, as they stopped the Nantals' rampage, and now they were going to nurture them to become the strongest shinobi ever, to be the strongest, even stronger than Lord Third and himself. That was his goal in mind. Something that he hadn't realized is that he slowly but surely was already forgetting about Naruto. First thing that came to his mind was the prophecy that the Toad Sage has told him. His master, Jiraiya, told him that 2 people would arise from the village hidden in the leaves, to either destroy or save this shinobi world and stop or continue the cycle of hatred. They don't know how this could happen or who these would be, but the prophecy does mention that they would be able to, that person is going to be able to, those people are going to be able to befriend even the strongest of tailed beasts, implying Kurama. What they don't know, it means that that person will be able to befriend even the Tentals if he happens to come back. Now, Naruto would grow up with his 2 siblings. For the first 4 years of their lives, they would be treated just as equally until their 4th birthday. The 2 of them were both competing to be the Uzumaki clan heir, as Naruto seemed more like an Namikaze than an Uzumaki. And he didn't have the whisker marks for some reason, like the other 2 had. They thought that it was probably because of the Nantals' influence, but they were born with them, so it didn't really make sense, as Naruto was born pretty much at the same time as them, just a few minutes apart. Now, Minato would then Minato would then, on their birthday, tell them that he would start Naruto's and Mito's training on that year. The 2 would be excited, as Naruto was thinking, as he was quite smart. He was a prodigy himself. He was much smarter than people his age. In fact, you could even put him on the same pedestal as the Nara. He was much smarter than Shikamaru, and the 2 were already friends because of their likeness. Naruto was more like a Nara than an Uzumaki. He's not as energetic as his other 2 sisters. He's much smarter, but he doesn't show it. He fakes being dumb around his family. He has a feeling that this facade he puts on with his family will somehow save his life or somehow help him in the future. As then, Naruto would continue to think as he wouldn't ask a question, as he realized that the two already had some level of chakra control because of what they've been doing. They've been stealing scrolls from their parents, but Naruto did not care. Naruto had already unlocked his chakra a long time ago, 2 years ago in fact, when he was a child. He didn't even realize, he just did it accidentally. Naruto would have been training all on his own by himself, physically, mentally, and obviously to do with chakra, mostly with chakra control, as Naruto knows that the foundations are basically everything. If he has the foundation mastered, then all the other things that he could master with these foundations would be much easier than to do so with just a little bit of an understanding behind the foundations. Naruto wants to know the foundations better than he knows himself. Anyways, now Naruto would not ask questions as he would walk out. He would still be hurt, but he wouldn't want to hurt his sisters, as he knows that these two will be the saviors of the planet, of the world, as he's been told the prophecy by his grandfather or figure, which would be Jiraiya. Jiraiya would come on their 4th birthday and bring gifts for all 3 of them. Naruto realized that his gift was much smaller, and it was just a small kunai, which he could handle on his own. It wasn't even a normal sized one, and plus it was blunt. Naruto did not care, as he could sharpen it with his chakra, something that he's learned to do. He doesn't know how, but he can actually put chakra into anything. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it's not chakra, even if it's not metal that can conduct chakra, Naruto can put it in anyways. Now, this was a special ability of Naruto, as Naruto would keep everything a secret, knowing that letting it out would just make his sisters jealous, and there would be too many questions to answer which he cannot be asked and cannot be bothered to answer himself. Now, Naruto would watch his sisters train as they slowly but surely grew further and further away from his family. Eventually, they even forgot to wake him up in the morning for breakfast, but luckily for Naruto, he would wake up on his own from the very start. From the very get-go, Naruto would have been very independent, not relying on his parents for most things, unless it's to do with money or food, as clearly he cannot really cook on his own, and he doesn't have money to earn, as he's just a 4-year-old. Now, 2 years would pass from this day, as Naruto would continue training. His chakra control was mastered at this point. Naruto did not have the 9 tails to interfere with his chakra network in the first place, meaning that his prodigious ability was, not overshadowed by the 9 tails chakra, and him being quite smart, he actually decided to learn in other fields, in different fields than what his sisters were doing. His sisters were learning how to control the 9 tails chakra, and basically things that their parents know. Naruto knows one thing that he wants to learn is the flying Raijin, as he believes that, his father, although it's his father's jutsu, he really knows that it's the second Hokage's jutsu, and he wants to learn it like the second Hokage, but improve on what it was already, and improve on what his father has already done. Naruto wants to use the flying Raijin pretty much better than his father, and basically he wants to become greater than his father one day and become the Hokage. That was Naruto's dream. Now, on their 6th birthday, something unexpected happened. Naruto always thought that he would be the Namikaze's heir, as clearly he's the only one with basically any traits from Minato, as the other 2 were carbon copies of their mother, other than Naruto having Minato's eyes. Naruto would be announced to be, the Namikaze clan's heir, whereas Mito wasn't announced to be the Uzumaki clan heir, basically stripping everything from Naruto. Clearly, Naruto wasn't expecting it, as this took a big blow on him, as one of his only friend would have noticed. Shikamaru would have patted him in the back, saying that that it's alright. There's always a place for him in the Naro clan compound if he ever gets kicked out, as that's what Naruto was probably thinking in Shikamaru's mind. But anyways, now Naruto was actually thinking that he's basically been disowned. He doesn't have anything to gain from this family anymore, and they haven't been treating him like a son anyway from the very get-go, as he was not basically trained by them. They didn't even bother asking him if he ever wanted training, as Naruto didn't even bother asking them because he knew what the answer would be, because he actually has once, when he was 5, asked them to actually help him with this chakra control, but they actually ignored him, not even realizing that Naruto actually had unlocked his chakra, something that Naruto made very clear by asking them to help him with this chakra control exercise, which Naruto was trying to master, but they didn't help him, so Naruto had to do it on his own. And to be honest, he's grateful he did it on his own, because now, now that he's 6, he realizes that asking them and pretty much being dependent on them would be his downfall, as Naruto would stop speaking to his parents after that day. He wouldn't even have received a single gift from them, other than the clan heirs giving Naruto a gift because they know about his existence. Now, Naruto would grow up as years would go by, 2 years in fact, and Naruto and Mito would be quite proficient in their chakra control, and they would be able to use at least one toe of the Nine-Tails chakra. Also, they are starting to learn how to use their chakra chains and the Rasengan. The Flying Raijin is too advanced for them, as they haven't even started Fuinjutsu, because both of them seem like they do not have any interest in it. However, Mito, being the clan heir of the Uzumaki clan, would inevitably have to learn this kind of jutsu or Fuinjutsu, because she is the Uzumaki clan heir, and she must know the Fuinjutsu to the highest degree, at least a level 8, since level 10 is quite hard. Even for Minato, who is Seal's master, he still struggles with level 10. But anyways, now, what they don't know is that Naruto has already been learning Fuinjutsu on his own in his free time. Although Naruto doesn't have much free time to begin with because of the Amano training he puts himself through every single day. It seems like Naruto was training himself to leave the village, because he doesn't ask anyone for help. He doesn't even say that he wants to be the Hokage anymore. Before, he used to always tell his friend Shikamaru while they were playing shogi that one day he'll become the Hokage and he'll be that leader, protecting the next generation, protecting everybody, and everyone would trust him. But Naruto would never say that again after his 6th birthday, as he had given up on that dream. That dream had died a long time ago. The Leaf is known for their teamwork, to never turn their backs on anyone, any of their friends, any of their comrades, any of their family. But clearly, Naruto realized that was all fake. Naruto had grown darker than what he already was. His eyes were dull now, and would only show, any sort of light towards his 2 friends. Yes, Naruto now has 2 friends, which would be Shikamaru and Tsuki, Sasuke's twin sister, who was very proficient in fire release, which helped Naruto out, as Naruto actually has an affinity towards fire release. In fact, Naruto has an affinity to all chakra releases, but that is a fact only known by that one Uchiha and the Shikamaru Nara. Anyways, now, Naruto would spend most of his time with those 2, as eventually Choji would join in, and Naruto would be quite good friends with Choji, as Choji was more like a neutral entity who did not hate anybody. He was always just there, and pretty much just liked eating, that's it. But anyways, now, Naruto and those other 3 would actually, influence each other. The 3 would actually get much smarter. I'm talking about Shikamaru, Choji, and Tsuki, thanks to Naruto's brains, as he would force them to actually study with him and train with them. Training together would actually help them as well, as all 3 of them were candidates. Actually not Tsuki, because Tsuki was I don't want to really start any any controversy, but the Uchiha clan was quite patriotic, so Sasuke or Itachi would basically be the clan heirs, and the Uchiha clan did not follow the oldest son will be the heir to the clan. No, it's the strongest son. So they would give time for Itachi and Sasuke to grow until the age of 18, where they would both basically fight it out. As Itachi did not care about the clan heir position, as he was more than willing enough to give it to Sasuke if you really wanted to. If Sasuke really wanted it. Sasuke seemed as if Sasuke seemed like he wanted it more than Itachi. Thus, Itachi already had made his decision. In the future, he would just lose to Sasuke, obviously putting up a little fight, because he still wants to test his little brother, as if he's not really adequate enough to be the clan heir, then he would actually stop him from being one, because he doesn't want Sasuke's head to be targeted by other strong shinobi just because he's a clan heir, and if he's not strong enough to protect himself, then Itachi will not allow it. Now, Obviously, Naruto and and Shikamaru and Choji would continue training until they basically entered the academy. Naruto would actually be shunned away because of his two sisters' popularity. Naruto could not care less, as his three friends were more than enough for him, and those three really knew who the best Namikaze Uzumaki was. As Naruto was an Uzumaki Namikaze, same thing, and he would basically be treated like trash in his family because no one really cared for him. Even Tsunade, who once actually cared for Naruto the most, had given up on him, as Naruto put on a facade of being the dead last and having no sort of chakra control and not being able to unlock his chakra. That's where he let on until he joined the academy, where he actually faked unlocking his chakra and having quite bad control over it. That's what everyone thought, other than Shikamaru, Choji and Tsuki, who actually knew Naruto's true potential and ability and what he's truly capable of. Naruto would be ridiculed by Sasuke and Kiba, who would actually be best friends in this What If. Don't ask how, I don't want to go into detail with it because I don't see them ever being best of friends, as the two personalities are complete opposites. But you know what they say, opposites attract, right? But anyways, now Naruto would make sure to always get average schools to be at the bottom of the class, as he could not care less about the academy and he could answer all the questions perfectly if he really wanted to. Now, obviously, he would still be ridiculed, as his two sisters would look down on him all the times in the academy and at home, always calling him the dead last and calling him a failure of the family. The failure of the family who could not control his chakra properly and who would be, ounce to nothing. Basically, Naruto would not become a shinobi in their eyes. They even tried to sway him away from that path. Even Minato, who actually wanted to train his son at one point in the past, now had given up on him after seeing his grades at school. Naruto could not care less, as he knew that what he was capable of, and as long as he knew what he was capable of, he did not care. After all, a shinobi's greatest tool is the art of deception, since they need to hide a lot. Anyways, now Naruto would hide his secrets from his family, but in result, he would be shunned away by them. Even Kushina, who basically loved Naruto, a lot more than anyone else, would have started slowly but surely walking away from him. Naruto actually liked Kushina a lot, even though she ignored him most of the times nowadays. He still loved her inside, but recently he has stopped, as she clearly seemed, it was clear to him that she did not care for him if he wasn't going to be a shinobi. This was a shinobi family after all. Every single one of the every single person that was part of this family was quite proficient in anything they did as a shinobi. Their two grandparents were two legendary Sanin. Their parents were legendary shinobi of their own, and of course, Naruto knows that the two daughters are the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, and then there's him. Someone who fakes being stupid, someone who, according to everyone else, is the dead last. Naruto could not care less, as all he cared for was his own growth, and if he meant being shunned away from his family, it's fine by him, because in the future he knows that these guys would leave him in the dirt and just basically give up on him, as they have already done so. And anyways, now Naruto would continue his life as per normal until the fated day would come, as Naruto would be alone at night in a graveyard, as Naruto was actually walking through it because he was actually going to his training ground behind the graveyard, which was near the Forest of Death. It was actually in the outskirts of the Forest of Death. Now, Naruto would keep walking until he would enter the Forest of Death. By the way, this is when Naruto was 10 years old. Naruto would start training, as the animals around, the serpents, beasts, would actually attack him, and Naruto would easily slay them one by one. This wasn't going to go unnoticed by everyone though, as one single Sharingan in the dark saw everything. This Sharingan was following Naruto all throughout the village. Naruto knew about this, and he didn't really pay too much attention to it, as he thought he was no threat, of course, because many people have the Sharingan, and a person with a single Sharingan is not unheard of, as there is someone like that. Kakashi Hatake. He thought it was Kakashi at first, actually keeping an eye on him because he's actually basically part of their family as well, as he's basically considered the older brother for Mito and Naruto. But Naruto does not care because he never was close to Kakashi. However, once the eye actually started making its way towards Naruto looked back, finally acknowledging the person, and he was taken aback. It wasn't Kakashi. This was somebody else. This was Obito. Obito was wearing his orange mask as per normal, as he was going under the name of Tobi, or Madara Uchiha. He would introduce himself as Naruto was taken aback, pulling out a kunai, realizing that if this was really Madara, then he's dead, he's fucked. But he wasn't going to go on. He wasn't going to die without a fight. Obito, however, wasn't here for a fight, and he was actually here for a recruit, someone who can act as a source of intel, as the Uchiha massacre never happened, so Itachi would never give some sort of information about the Leaf Village to Obito, and Obito would have to gather on his own, and he realized that Naruto being part of the Akatsuki might not be too bad, as obviously it would explain everything in a genjutsu that he puts Naruto under. The first genjutsu he put Naruto under was actually broken because of Naruto's just innate ability. This impressed Obito very much, as that genjutsu was enough to take out many jonins of the Leaf Village in the past, and now a 10-year-old kid who still goes to the academy and is considered a dead lost, from what he's heard, is able to break out of a genjutsu that is able to take out at least a minimum of 20 to 30 Anbi level ninjas. Now, this was impressive. He would then say, well then, I guess that genjutsu wasn't enough. Oh well, this one should do. As he would go on to use his genjutsu once more, a different kind of genjutsu which was much stronger, to then explain to Naruto who he is and what he's after, and basically the plan of the infinite Tsukuyomi. Naruto would then, first of all, Obito would introduce himself as Madara Uchiha once again, as Naruto would then say, I already know that, as Obito would then say, well then, I want to tell you about what I'm after. I'm after the Nine Tails Jinchurikis. As you may know them quite well, after all, they are your siblings, right? Naruto then says, yeah, so about... what? Oh, I stopped my recording accidentally and I didn't realize. But anyways, he would go... I'll say what I said before. He would then go on to introduce himself once more, and Naruto would say, well, I already knew that, so what do you want from me? I know this is a genjutsu, but I can't break out of it for some reason. What kind of genjutsu is this? Obito would laugh, saying that he doesn't need to worry about that, and then goes on to explain. I'm actually here for the Nine Tails, as he's been split in half and sealed away into your sisters, right? Naruto and Mito, I think. Well, let me explain. I'm after all the nine-tailed beasts, as I'm trying to achieve something. This is called the infinite Tsukuyomi. It's the plan of my plan is to bring peace to the shinobi world. To bring a world where there is no pain, no suffering. A world where everyone can live their dreams. A world of dreams, of pure dreams. Anyone can live the life they want. Their life will be perfect. Now, do you understand? Naruto understood everything Obito said, or Madara said. In this case, Naruto knows him as Madara. As he would realize that this is not a bad plan. As it would stop the cycle of hatred which Naruto is very much aware of because of he's seen it himself. Anyways, some villagers do still hate not Menma, but Mito and Naruto. Now, Naruto would then ask, what does he gain out of this? After all, if he was to join them, he's basically killing his two sisters, right? Obito would then interject, saying, no, you won't. After all, your mother was the former Naruto's Jinchuriki, as you may know, since you are quite smart. Not as if you don't know that yourself. I know you're hiding a lot of your strengths and abilities, and I saw what you're able to do. Being able to break out of my other genjutsu, and being able to realize that this is a genjutsu, is quite impressive, especially for someone your age. I'm very impressed by you, Naruto, and I want you to join me and help me achieve my goal. After all, I'm sure your goal is quite similar. Naruto would then nod, saying, yes, I do want to stop the cycle of hatred. However, it doesn't mean I want to join you. Give me a good reason to join you. Obviously, Naruto understood straight away that his two sisters would probably survive the extraction of half the Naruto's instead of the full one. Probably the full one would kill them, but since it's just half of it, and their mother was able to survive half, the whole Naruto's being extracted from herself, then it's plausible that they would survive. And anyways, now Obito would then tell him that Naruto has a special ability within him that nobody knows about, something that the Namikaze only have. Obviously, Naruto would then question him. Then Obito would go on to explain. Something that you don't know is that the Namikaze clan was quite small. After all, it was a clan. It wasn't really a clan, to be honest. It was a family name. There were only a few members. I believe, from what I remember, there's technically only, 6 actual members. After all, the two who actually, 6 members, including you. As obviously, Obito would then go on to explain that the 6 members of the Namikaze clan are actually himself, Minato, Naruto, and Mito, and actually Minato's mother, who he does not remember, and a very, very important figure in history. Naruto does not know who this figure is, and obviously Obito would then go on to explain. This important figure was the one who was able to challenge the first Hokage in many battles in the past, as Naruto's eyes would start to widen. Slowly but surely, Obito would then go on to explain that his grandfather was Madara Uchiha. And unfortunately for his sisters, they didn't inherit, or fortunately for Obito, his sisters did not inherit anything from Madara, so they won't be able to unlock the Sharingan. However, Minato does have a lot from Madara, for example his brains, and he also inherited the Sharingan, which is not actually unlocked yet for Minato, because it was actually sealed away with an incredibly strong seal by Madara, as Madara did not want Minato to use it, as after his mother's death, Minato was actually, his mother died when Minato was born, and Madara would leave the baby Minato in the Leaf Village from basically day 2 of his life. As Naruto would understand what just happened, his head would be hurting and it would actually be spinning. Madara wasn't alive to actually, seal away Naruto's powers, as Naruto's powers were slowly but surely awakening. Naruto's eyesight was getting better and better. It wasn't like a normal Sharingan. It was actually a blue Sharingan with the Tomoe, which Naruto did not realize that he had. Naruto has had this for a long while, but he just never uses it, as he channels chakra to his eyes and his vision becomes much, much sharper. It's already matured to a 2 Tomoe Sharingan. Very impressive, Naruto. You're only 10 years old. I would expect it to be a 3 Tomoe on both eyes, but I guess 1 is good enough, as Naruto's left eye would have 2 Tomoe and his right eye would have 3. Naruto did not realize this, and he was never aware of this. Naruto has always had the Sharingan, and he's unlocked it over time by being neglected by his parents, something that he thought he was always ignoring, but clearly he wasn't. The pain that he felt when he was ignored was very real. And anyways, now Obito would ask Naruto to join the AKATSUKI, something that his own grandfather left behind. Naruto would understand, realizing that this might actually be a pretty good idea for him, as he could actually stop the cycle of hatred this way, as the way his life is going, he's always going to be ignored forever and ever. Obito would tell him that in 3 years' time, he would have to leave the village and join the AKATSUKI completely, as that is when, when the Akatsuki are actually going to start going into action. When Naruto joins, the Akatsuki are going to start building their name for an extra 2 years, building up their bounty, building up their basically everything. They're going to basically build up a name for themselves. And then when Naruto is 16, then they will actually begin their missions, as Naruto is basically 11 at this point. And anyways, now obviously Naruto would accept this offer, as Obito would leave behind a cloak that would actually fit an older Naruto, not a Naruto right now. And Naruto would understand, realizing that this is the cloak that he has to wear when he becomes older. And Naruto would then be let out of the Genjutsu, as Obito would then shake hands with Naruto one last time. Looking at each other's eyes, Obito could feel the power behind those eyes. They were much stronger than a normal 3 Tomoe Sharingan, although one of them is still not even matured, is stronger than a normal 3 Tomoe Sharingan. This was something to be, well, mesmerized by. Naruto's eyes were completely different. They were something to be afraid of. There was something that have never been seen in history. Maybe Minato, his former sensei, might have been able to unlock it, but he was hindered by his own father. However, Madara is not here to stop Naruto. Madara actually stopped this for a whole different reason. Madara knew that Minato, unlocking these eyes, would be able to tell him the truth behind the world, and would make him actually strong enough to stop the Akatsuki in the future. Something that he was already, not the Akatsuki, but stop him in the future. As those eyes don't need a Mangekyo. Those eyes already have the powers of an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan without even having to evolve to a normal Mangekyo in the first place. And not even an eternal Mangekyo. And also, those eyes have the ability to even morph into the Rinnegan themselves. Something that Madara has read in the Uchiha Stone Tablet. Well, that is something that Zetsu had to add, as he actually, well, took Madara back to the Uchiha Stone Tablet, as he faked, well, he actually was able to persuade Madara into believing that this was something that the Sage's Class only left in case those eyes were ever born, or if someone ever owned those eyes. And Minato was the first to own them. However, those eyes were soon sealed away completely because of the fear Madara had for them. But Naruto's eyes were unleashed, something that Zetsu knew about. And however, if Naruto was actually part of the Akatsuki now, then he should not be worried about them anymore, as he put that thought in the back of his mind, thinking positively of Naruto, thinking that he will help the plan of the Infinite Tsukuyomi. Naruto would then realize it's already dawn, and he would return home, sneaking back into his own house. Into his room. He was actually caught by Jiraiya. Jiraiya would question the young man, as he actually wanted to talk to Naruto. He wanted to ask Naruto why, he's so weak. And he wanted to offer him training. Naruto would then ignore Jiraiya, saying, I was out for training. What do you want? As Jiraiya was actually taken aback. He had a smile on his face, saying, Kid, if you're training at this time of the night until this late, then you must have some potential. I want to make you my apprentice, just like your 2 siblings. Naruto would then coldly decline, saying, no thank you. I don't need anyone. After all, you guys haven't really acknowledged me for the past 11 years. Why should I need your help now? I'm strong enough as it is. All I need is to master my chakra control. That's what I've been doing the past few hours. Now, if you mind, I'll be heading to my room now. As Naruto was actually in the hallway, trying to get to the shower, as that was denied to him as well. Jiraiya was perplexed by Naruto's reaction, and he would ask Minato about it. Minato would find out about Naruto's training, as Naruto would actually go into the shower, as Minato was actually awake, trying to go to the Hokage's office now, and he would question Naruto once he's out. Naruto then says what? He needs to train. After all, he is the weakest in his class. He somehow needs to catch up if he doesn't want to fail this year. Next year is a very big and important year, as that's his graduation year. So he actually has to start putting the effort in. Minato would kind of be proud of his son, but at the same time he would be actually sad and disappointed in him. He has all these strong shinobi around him, and he would not ask them for help. This just made Minato angry, as he realized, not realized because it's not true, as he thought Naruto would only had a big ego and basically thought himself above the people who are willing and able to help him. Obviously, Naruto had other plans, and he sees it differently from how Minato sees it. To him, these people who are willing to, Anyways, now, I can't lie, I had to go out for a second. I've wasted like 12 minutes. Now I forgot where I was. Anyway, Minato would not care about Naruto anymore because of the fact that he thinks Naruto has a big ego, and he basically thinks that Naruto is belittling them. But anyways, Naruto keeps going to school for the last part of the third year as they basically get some vacations. However, Naruto does not care about he does not care about these vacations, as he spends all his time training with Tsuki and Shikamaru and Choji. Naruto and these three would continue training as Tsuki actually begins developing feelings for Naruto, and Naruto does too, but Naruto is a bit, conflicted, because he knows that in, 3 years time, when Naruto is 14, he'll have to leave this village and, continue his life with AKATSUKI. And he knows not to get too attached to people, but he's already too attached to these three, which he hasn't thought about when he made that decision. But he thinks everything will work out fine eventually when the time arrives. As Naruto continues training with them, Naruto and Tsuki would actually finish the first day of training, and everyone would head their separate way other than these two, as they would actually remain sitting down, as the other two would have to go, as their parents, their mothers get quite pissed. Whereas Naruto's mother does not care, and Mikoto just does not, she cares, but she is more lenient. Anyways, now Naruto and Tsuki would just be walking, as Tsuki would invite Naruto over for dinner. Naruto does not really mind, as he technically won't even have dinner when he goes home, and some food's better than none, so he accepts very gladly, although he doesn't like socializing with people. Anyways, when the two walk in, Mikoto actually greets Tsuki, and she's surprised by the sudden visit of Naruto. She knows who Naruto is, and but she doesn't really talk to him much, as much as Mito and Naruto. I was about to say Menmo. Anyways, now the two, Naruto would greet Mikoto, and Mikoto would ask, why he's here today. Never really visits them, which makes her quite sad. And obviously Naruto says he's always busy trying to catch up with everyone. After all, he is the worst in the academy, which Tsuki would raise an eyebrow, realizing that Naruto doesn't even want to tell Mikoto, and Mikoto is one of the most trustful people that Tsuki knows. She probably trusts Mikoto just as much as Naruto, Shikamaru, and Choji. And anyways, now, not her father, that's for sure. Anyways, Sasuke would see Naruto, and he would scoff, saying, "Why is the dead lost in this home?" As he realizes that him and his sister must be very good friends for her to bring her over. She doesn't even bring any of her girlfriends over, and that's Naruto is just there now. Obviously, Naruto would greet Sasuke. Sasuke slowly but surely started maturing and stopped hating Naruto as much. He never really hated him, he just belittled him, but he stopped belittling him as he got older. He actually saw that Naruto is quite smart. He's been seeing this for the past few months, and he sees how Naruto scores, he actually went through his file secretly, and he sees that all his scores are perfectly on the dot. Every single one is the same, perfectly on the dot, to be the dead last. That requires skill. That's not a coincidence, especially for hundreds of tests for the past 3 years. That's no coincidence. He realized that, and he actually started developing some respect for Naruto, and he would actually smile, saying, "You don't need to be so on edge with me. I know I haven't been the best of classmates in the past, but I'd like to apologize." And this is quite new to everyone there. Sasuke is not one to apologize so easily. Anyway, Naruto would smile, saying that it's great to have a new friend, as Tsuki smiles as well, realizing that Naruto's already getting close to her family. Anyways, Sasuke would ask Naruto a lot of questions before dinner, as the dinner was being prepared by Mikoto. He was actually happy that her son actually starting to grow up and becoming more sociable with others. Naruto's no clan heir, and he's known of a big status technically. Well, he is the son of Minato, but most people don't even treat him as the son of Minato because they think he's a failure. But obviously, Sasuke wouldn't even dare or even think of talking to people below him or not on the same pedestal of him as him, which means that he's growing up, because Naruto seemed like, well, is treated like a nobody, and Sasuke is treating a nobody like someone that he respects. Anyways, now, obviously, she's happy for Sasuke, and she's happy that Naruto's changing Sasuke somehow. She doesn't understand how. She's not really, well, she doesn't really look into people like Sasuke does. But anyways, now, Tsuki and Sasuke become, Sasuke and Naruto become quite good friends, as Tsuki is happy for Naruto making a new friend. Naruto feels that he can trust Sasuke, as he feels a brotherly connection with him already for some reason. He doesn't know why. Obviously, Itachi would then walk in with Fugaku, as they were actually done, both of them at the same time were done with their job for the day. Obviously, the two would walk in, as Fugaku would question why Naruto's here, and Itachi would greet Naruto with a smile, as Naruto was taken aback. Most people would snarl at him or just not even care about him, especially in his home. And anyways, now Naruto would smile back at Itachi and greet him by bowing, and then bowing to Fugaku. Obviously, Fugaku was perplexed why Naruto was here, but then everything was explained, and he seems like Naruto is good friends with his, two youngest children, so he's okay with it. Obviously, they all have dinner, as Fugaku would ask Naruto what he's been learning and what he specializes in, especially because he's going to become a shinobi, right? And anyways, now, Naruto would not answer these questions very truthfully, as Fugaku, Mikoto, and Itachi would see through this. They could see that a child his age is quite good at lying already, and although they can tell through his deception is quite good already, which would make them a bit concerned. Why would Naruto be so good at deception, although, he has a good family, right? Fugaku would start questioning him about his family life, which Naruto would stay quiet about. Naruto would not talk, and he would have told his friends. However, this is not something he likes to share with adults, as he feels like they won't understand what he goes through on a daily basis and what he feels truly inside. Some things that don't even come out to his friends. Naruto would not want to say the things that he thinks of, and the things that he would like to do, especially the things that he's going to do. Anywho, now, Naruto would stay quiet throughout some of the questioning about his family, as he doesn't want to get them in trouble. He doesn't want to get people suspicious or anything, as he does not care anymore. He would answer, however, one question, saying that family is no longer his, or he's no longer part of them, as he's been excluded for a long while. Excluded for many years now. As Naruto would look down, losing his appetite, smiling once again while looking back up, saying that it was nice talking to people for once at dinner. As he stands up, thanking Mikoto for the dinner, as he would start walking away, waving goodbye to Tsuki and Sasuke, and bowing to Itachi and Fugaku. People that he actually truly looks up to. They were very, very strong. Now, Naruto's Sharingan, obviously, that would actually be hurting as he walks out, as he knows that Fugaku hit quite the deep spot about Naruto. Naruto does not like his family, and every time he thinks about it, he feels excluded or he feels sad, which activates his Sharingan spontaneously, which Naruto gets quite pissed off about. He's like, fuck, why? As his Sharingan hurts him. He doesn't like using it. Why now? Naruto would keep walking, as he would walk into the park where once he used to play. Naruto would look at the park, all lonely. Naruto sees the park, all quiet in the dark, as he would contemplate his life, realizing that all his life he's truly been alone, and all he wanted was the affection of a family. Naruto makes a goal for himself that night. One day, I'll have a family of my own, and I won't treat them like I was treated. I'll treat them with everything they deserve. As Naruto would walk away, not being seen for the next week, Tsuki would be worried, Sasuke would be wondering, as both of them would search for him. Eventually Fugaku would get to know about Naruto's disappearance. However, the day after, Naruto would return to the academy. He seemed different somewhat. People would question Naruto. However, Naruto would keep away from most of the questions, as he would only smile at his friends and answer their questions. Shikamaru would find out that Naruto has been training for the past week, training so hard that for some reason he seemed changed, but they can't pinpoint in what. Naruto has been training his Sharingan, so he could become stronger than what he already is, so he can become stronger to control it, and maybe one day protect the people that he wants to protect with it, as he knows it's a great power to have. However, if one does not know how to use it, then it's just going to be a burden upon the user. Anyway, it's visible that Naruto has changed. It's quite obvious. From his facial expression, he seems more mature, he seems more, it's not as relaxed as before. He seems more on the job. But anyways, Naruto is still the relaxed self. He's a relaxed self around his friends, but around other people now. Before he used to be lazy, but now he's much more professional. Treats them as if they were business partners or future colleagues instead of people his age. Anyways, we'll have a little time skip. During this time skip, before towards the final graduation exam, during this time, Fugaku would have made some research about Naruto and saw what happens to Naruto on a daily basis. He would actually wonder why, as he would spy on Naruto, slowly but surely getting to know him better and better. He wouldn't actually approach Naruto himself, as he knows that Naruto is not willing to give any answers. But Fugaku was too interested, and he needed to understand why Naruto seemed so much more mature than what his age should be. Anyways, now, he seemed as if he was already as mature as Itachi. But Itachi is a different case, and plus he's an Uchiha, whereas Naruto is just a happy-go-lucky Namikaze, isn't he? Well, that's what he thinks he is. However, Fugaku is in for a surprise, as he finds out Naruto's true strength, and some of Naruto's abilities. However, one other thing is that Naruto had already noticed him. However, he did not mind, as he felt like this person was someone he could trust. Someone that he knew he could trust in the future as well. As, after all, his daughter is Tsuki, and that is someone that he wants to be with in the future as well. And anywho, Sasuke is also his son, and Sasuke is one of his closest friends now. And anywho, now, Fugaku would see Naruto training every single day with his friends, even with his kids, and even on his own. Naruto would train day and night. He wouldn't even go home. What was Minato thinking? This kid, he's training way too hard. Not even Jonins train this hard these days, unless we're talking about Guy. But this one is different. He seems to have skills beyond the tuning, maybe even beyond Jonin. What's wrong with him? Why is he still in the academy? I need to look more into this. As Fugaku would then go on to look more into Naruto, asking his kids how Naruto does in school. Tsuki would reply by saying he always gets average scores. He never really tries though. As Sasuke would then say that he's been faking it all. He tries. Oh no, actually, not tries. He makes sure to get the lowest minimum pass possible. I checked his exams. All the scores are exactly the same, or exactly the minimum amount to pass. Clearly, Naruto has been hiding a lot, and that's why I started respecting him more. Naruto hid his powers, and I know that he's hiding even more than what he's already showing us. Fugaku would nod, saying, I understand. I'm interested in this Naruto boy. He seems quite mature. If there's any new information you guys have, let me know. As Tsuki and Sasuke and Itachi and Mikoto would all look at each other, Fugaku would never show interest in anyone outside the Uchiha clan. even in the Uchiha clan, unless they're prodigies. But Naruto is a prodigy, yes, but he's not part of the Uchihas. This was very interesting, but at the same time exciting for their family. But anyways, now Tsuki would do her best to find out more about Naruto for her father, but she wouldn't want to pry too much, as she would still want to keep her good relationship with Naruto. Naruto doesn't really mind, as he already knows what Fugaku's been doing, and he doesn't mind telling him. He seems to be quite trustworthy. After all, he's found out a little bit about him, and yet he kept it to himself. But he still doesn't want to risk everything, in case Fugaku is just trying to, gain a bit more before telling Minato. And anyways, now Naruto would be waiting for his name to be called out, as for some reason he was last. When he would go up to do his test, he would easily pass, not going the highest grades, getting the bare minimum to pass, and making the bare minimum clones to pass, as Naruto struggles with that jutsu. To be honest, that was the most clones he could make, as he can only use shadow clones and other kind of clones. Anywho, now Naruto would walk back to his seat as the names of the people who passed would be announced. Naruto would be last as usual, but he would not care, as the parents were happy to hear their kids passing. Some were sad that they didn't, but they would console them later. As for now, Naruto's name would be called out. As Naruto would walk up, no one would be cheering, not even his family. Not even the great Sanin, who were there at the time, the ones that were meant to be his godparents. Naruto grabbed the headband tightly, as he realized he has nothing in this village. Maybe leaving it and joining the AKATSUKI was the best choice for him, and maybe he should join them early. However, all of a sudden, slowly but surely, Naruto could hear something. There were claps. It would be Fugaku, as he would look at Naruto, and Naruto would look at him wide-eyed. Fugaku would be smiling at Naruto, as Mikoto would say congrats to Naruto, as Itachi would just smile. Naruto realizes that this is his true family. Naruto has found something that he didn't even know he had. Naruto has been visiting the Uchihas more often, just these lot. The other Uchihas don't really know, as Naruto would sneak in most of the times. They would have dinner together, as Naruto would mostly stay out, and a lot of the times Fugaku would invite Naruto to remain in their home, to stay over the night. They would even buy him new clothes, which Naruto never asked for, but he could not decline, as Fugaku seemed a bit too scary to decline a gift from. Now, Naruto would shed a few tears as he would go back to his seat next to Tsuki, as Tsuki would just rub his back, saying that they can go celebrate together. Minato and his family would leave, and looking back at Naruto, Kushina would say, "Well done, Naruto, you finally caught up slightly to your siblings," as she would walk away as well. Mikoto was taken aback. Even her own friend was against Naruto for some reason. They always thought he was a failure. But what they truly didn't know is that Naruto is a prodigy amongst prodigies. Probably even a bigger prodigy than Itachi himself. Someone who could have passed the academy since before he even joined. Someone who could have become an Anbu from the very ripe age of 8. Even younger than Itachi. Anyways, Naruto would continue to walk alone, as he would go off on his own until Tsuki caught up to him, grabbing his hand, saying that they should go celebrate together. Naruto would look back at his new family, smiling, one last tear dropping as Naruto would agree and go with them. Now, the next day, the teams would be announced, as Team 7 would consist of Naruto would have the most fun he's had in years with the family, as Shikamaru and Choji's family would actually join as well, as Naruto would be happy for once in a long while, as he's finally got a family that he knows he'll have to leave soon. Anyways, now that is where I'm going to end off for right now. I might record some more later and maybe we'll have some more, but for now, if I don't record any more for part 1, this is where I'm going to end off part 1. I hope you enjoyed. Please stay safe. This was King of Weebs here, and peace.